Hello, and welcome to this week's Movie Math, where now it's all about football, football, football. That's right, the Super Bowl is coming, and at the end of today, we'll know which two teams will be going head-to-head for the 56th matchup for the NFL, right? Which is on, I think one of the teams should already be decided by the time this airs. This Movie Math. And the Super Bowl itself is on Sunday, February 13th, back to back with Valentine's Day. That's nuts. And it takes place in Los Angeles this year. Very fitting, as Hollywood seems to be looking to the big game more than usual to get people amped up again about returning to the multiplex. Please return. And also over to their streaming services. You know, side note, I was thinking about this in the last few days, is that the movie business used to think TV was the enemy, especially when TV first came out. But now that the movie studios own streaming services, it's all good. You really got to know your verticals. Case in point, I'm going to illustrate that in just a moment. Because the football Hollywood hype has already started. Moon Knight dropped its trailer when there was a playoff game for the Super Bowl, one of the earlier ones, when that was on Disney-owned ESPN. And sure enough, CBS today is airing the AFC Championship, and parent company Paramount used that opportunity to highlight their Top Gun Maverick movie for Memorial Day weekend with Tom Cruise doing the intro, and debuted the first official trailer for Paramount Plus's Halo series, announcing it will debut March 24th. The NFC Championship game airs on Fox, which is no longer owned by a studio because Disney yoink took everything but basically the Fox network, and now, you know, nobody wants to pay to advertise something when they can advertise it in-house on their own network/streaming service. It's very interesting. All right, so don't worry. The Super Bowl this year is not airing on Fox. It's airing on NBC, which of course is owned by Universal. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. So anyway, with the studios eager to get moviegoers excited about movies again and help their streaming services pull ahead of the competition, who can we expect to air trailers during the big game? Well, since it's so expensive, here are Hollywood's two favorite plays. Buying spots during the pre-show, which is cheaper. Even Avengers Endgame, I think back in, 2019, bought a pre-game spot instead of an actual game spot. You know, even Disney wanted the cheaper rate. So expect some, you could have a major title during the pre-show. And also, they air a 30-second spot, which is either a standalone spot or it sends viewers to the internets to check out a full-length trailer. And we've discussed this, that studios are less and less buying Super Bowl spots because now that they can release the trailers with an online component, they can blow up any day of the week they plan to. They don't need the Super Bowl. But there's something special about the Super Bowl, and I think you're going to see a lot of interest potentially from the studios this year. So just how expensive is it? Well, it's $6.5 million for 30 seconds. That's how much it is this year. About $1 million more than what CBS was charging last year. The Super Bowl rotates networks every year. Fox is actually, interestingly, even though they don't have any movie studio behind them anymore or streaming service, but their sports package is my favorite. I love Cletus, the football playing robot. All right, so anyway, as for NBC Universal, it's in-house, basically free for them to advertise anything on the Super Bowl this year. So expect them to advertise the most. Because again, it don't really cost them nothing. They'll be advertising stuff across their entire vertical. The Winter Olympics airing on NBC, starting actually this Friday, but will still be going on at that time. Bel Air, which drops the same day, the first episode, same day as the big game on Peacock. They're going to want you to check that out. And then, of course, Jurassic World Dominion. Many of you have been wondering, where is this trailer? They're already using Jurassic World Dominion to advertise the Olympics, which again start this Friday. So will we get a trailer with the Olympics, the teaser with the trailer at the Super Bowl? Both? I think maybe both, although I think they would have announced they had something for the opening ceremony on Friday if they were doing that. I think the Super Bowl is such a good fit with Jurassic World Dominion. I wouldn't be surprised, especially again because it's on their own network, if we saw the first big spot there. Oh boy! There's also a very good chance that NBC Universal will also advertise Minions: The Rise of Gru to all the families tuning in for the big game. Now, I've recently heard that there's a new Lightyear trailer coming and our first full trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. But are those Super Bowl trailers? Again, you don't necessarily need the Super Bowl, especially for those trailers. But maybe they are, especially with Sony riding high on Spider-Man right now and wanting to keep it a high-profile franchise. Nothing says high-profile like a Super Bowl spot. Plus, with Uncharted coming out the Friday right after, they could attach it to that movie as well. Debut the spot at the Super Bowl, put the trailer, with the full trailer, and then it plays in front of Uncharted in theaters that very Friday with Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland, starring. However, Sony does tend to sit the Super Bowl out, as they have many years, so they could just drop the Miles Morales trailer on its own, Valentine's Day, or maybe the day after on the 15th. But again, I think the goal will be for that to play with Uncharted. But you all want that Marvel goodness. That's what you want to hear. And Marvel loves a good Super Bowl party, even if it's during the pre-show. So we should expect at least one spot for a Marvel movie. Will it be Thor: Love and Thunder's first look, or will they hit Doctor Strange 2 again? We'll see what they decide to do. And maybe they'll highlight a Disney Plus series. But will it be a Marvel Disney Plus series? What about Obi-Wan, which many of us scoopers are guessing will debut on May the 4th? That would be an excellent show to advertise during the Super Bowl. And everyone also has been wondering when we're getting a Black Adam trailer. Well, The Rock has also historically loved the Super Bowl. Although like Sony, Warner Brothers tends to sit out the Super Bowl. But The Rock is mighty persuasive, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Black Adam spot there as well. And with Stranger Things Season 4 finally coming later this year, will Netflix drop a Super Bowl trailer as they did for Season 2 back in 2017. No Super Bowl trailers are confirmed just yet, but once the teams are settled, and I think usually it's about a week out, the trades tend to be able to report which studios have purchased spots. And some of the spots, they can tell you which they are, and others are mystery spots with a surprise set for game day. No big movies are even being released until after the Super Bowl, again with Sony's Uncharted for President's Day weekend. And this weekend, we had not a single new competitor. Nobody even dared enter this space. There was, of course, a snowstorm, but Hollywood didn't know that. But they did know there were 2 championship games on Sunday, which is probably why they all avoided this. So as expected, Spider-Man No Way Home, Scream, and Sing 2 took full advantage of their final freebie. With Spider-Man No Way Home, I think at this point it's safe to say settling in at number 4 all-time domestic and number 6 all-time worldwide. I don't think it'll rise higher than that. If Sony was going to try a re-release strategy at the last minute with maybe some extra content to boost the box office to see if it could get a little higher, I think this would have been the weekend to do it. Anything after this would now, I think, threaten Sony's next Tom Holland movie, again Uncharted, just 3 weeks out. So now, Spider-Man-wise, I think Sony will focus on that Across the Spider-Verse trailer release, making that a big deal, and making the digital and Blu-ray release of No Way Home blow up big time. It's already number 21 on iTunes with pre-orders. It doesn't even have a release date yet for PVOD. Isn't that incredible? I would guess that Sony might have some tricks up their sleeve, I'm just saying, to make you go as crazy for the home release as you did for the theatrical. Sony's been very, very smart on this. Speaking of digital, let's head over to the Nielsen's latest top 10 charts for the final week of 2021. Cobra Kai debuted season 4 and it dominated, even overtaking Netflix's other hit series, The Witcher, which would debut just 2 weeks prior. Well, more people caught up on Hawkeye than started the Book of Boba Fett. Although, to be fair, Boba had just 1 episode. Still, other Disney Plus shows have started higher. Although, most of the times these days they've debuted with 1 hour or 2 hours even, 45 minutes basically. Or Wanda, of course, had... was it? I think, yeah, two. It was a twofer as well. But still, that's pretty low. That's pretty low for Boba Fett. It'll be interesting to see how Boba Fett does week to week, especially if number 5 sees a huge rise in viewership. That was last week's episode. Only 2 left. As for movies that week, Disney continues to dominate in the movie space with not just fan favorites, but also new favorites like Encanto. Encanto is a massive hit on digital. I mean, it did okay. It almost got to $100 million at the box office domestic, but it has blown up on Disney+. Ron's Gone Wrong also did very well this week, despite having been on the service since December 15th. For some reason, this week after Christmas, I guess everyone watched their Christmas movies, during the holidays, and now I'm glad they stuck a pin in Ron's Gone Wrong and circled back to him, because that's a really cute movie. Awards favorites also did very well this week, as you can see, but Don't Look Up really exploded post-Christmas. It was super depressing for Christmas, as I told you. But between Christmas and New Year's, look at that. It did 5 times the viewership of any of the movies beneath it, only bested by Encanto, which also goes to show how strong Encanto's viewership was. Over on Netflix's charts for just last week, Mina Massoud has another hit to add to his resume with The Royal Treatment debuting at #1 globally. While over on series, Ozark took the top spot, but Archive 81 only slipped to second place. I stopped watching that though, too dark and depressing for me. It was getting to me. It was good, but it was too slow and too weird for me to continue. I know some of you said it didn't have a great ending, so I guess I lucked out. On iTunes, Dune became available to rent and shot back up to #1, while a lot of recent releases continue to dominate the top 10, as you can see, including the 355, which just went digital after a little less than 3 weeks it hit theaters. That's a little bit more than the 17-day window that Universal has been playing with, but it's certainly not the 45-day window. But I think that it'll hit 45 days. They'll send it to Peacock. So this is, I guess, 45 days. They're never going to wait that long to send it to digital because they want you to, for digital purchase. You're not going to be able to rent it. They're going to send it to Peacock first. And Adrian Brody is the latest mid-range star to make some cash doing a direct-to-video actioner. As for this coming week, Moonfall and Jackass Forever will try to take the #1 and possibly #2 spot away from Spider-Man No Way Home. We'll see. Will one of them be victorious and be #1? But the real question is, will the other one be #2 or #3? Also on Friday, again, it's the start of the Winter Olympics with the opening ceremony in Beijing. And to show how the market has become so much more global, even in the United States, NBC will air the opening ceremony twice. First live at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the usual packaged presentation at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe in the past you've been able to watch it live online, but the fact that network television is airing it live is very interesting indeed. On streaming, the first 3 episodes of Pam and Tommy hit Hulu on Wednesday. Again, I told you that episode 2, real NC-17 stuff. I think it's going to trend. And then also the next day, on Thursday, Raised by Wolves returns, season 2. I just watched they gave me the next 3 episodes and got even crazier and weirder. I love it. And then the entire season of Reacher hits Amazon on Friday. Look, it's Titan's Hawk. He lives. In fact, I think he got an upgrade. That's an excellent vehicle for him. As for Netflix, of course, they come to play. Raising Dion returns Tuesday. Scandalous Documentary, The Tinder Swindler, it's a feature documentary, drops on Wednesday. And then Will Arnett's comedy improv detective show hits Thursday. Plus, also this week, season 2's hit for Dark Desire and Sweet Magnolias. So that's this week's Movie Math. What have you been watching? What do you plan to watch? And what trailers do you hope and do you think we'll see at this year's Super Bowl? Share those thoughts down below, subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.